What's going on, guys? We have an update video for you today on the court case with the CEO of SafeMoon, John Karony. This coming from a post by SFMJCV2 over on Twitter. Shoutouts to them for sharing these documents. Before I dive into that, real quickly, I want to tell you guys, if you've been looking at the crypto markets, you've noticed things have been really heating up. Well, if you're looking for a place that you have access to a huge catalog of crypto, you can check out MEXC. They have 1,700 coins. They're a top ranking platform on the CoinMarketCap listing. They're ranked at number 16 with over $1 billion in trading volume in the last 24 hours. In addition to that, they also have the ability, you can buy crypto using your debit or credit card. And also they have a really cool bonus system going on. You could get up to $1,000. There's these little objective goals that you can do. You can find out more by checking it out through that link down in the description below. Be greatly appreciated if you use my referral link. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into the news. The court case here, it says, "Dear Mr. Schuman, enclosed, please find the government's discovery in accordance with Rule 16 of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure. The government also requests reciprocal discovery from the defendant." The government's discovery. Statements of the defendant. Please find enclosed the following, which reflects statements of the defendant. Federal Bureau of Investigation, or FBI, FD 302 report and underlying notes of a November 1st, 2021 voluntary interview with Braden John Karony. Bates numbered, it gives you the number. FBI FD 302 report and copies of communications sent from SafeMoon US LLC and signed by defendant Braden John Karony, sent to the FBI on February 11th, 2022. Bates numbered, gives you the number. In October 31st, 2023, receipt for property signed by the defendant, listing items seized from the defendant at the time of his arrest. Bates numbered, gives you the number. Documents, communications, and other records obtained from Discord Incorporated pursuant to a search warrant for Discord username John Karony. It says Captain Huddle Team on here. With the user number, Bates numbered, gives you the number. FBI FD 302 report of the October 31st, 2023 arrest of the defendant. Bates numbered, gives you the number. FBI FD 395 advice of rights form signed by the defendant on October 31st, 2023. Bates numbered, once again. Audio video recording of the defendant's custodial interview. Bates numbered, gives you the number. United States Marshal Service personal history of defendant. Bates numbered, gives you the number. FBI booking package for defendant Braden John Karony. Bates numbered, gives you the number. The defendant's criminal history. The government is not currently aware of any prior criminal history for the defendant. Expert witnesses. The government will comply with Fed R Crim P, gives you the code, and Fed R evidence gives you the code, and notify you in a timely fashion of any expert that the government intends to call at trial and provide you with a summary of the expert's opinion. At present, the government anticipates calling one or more experts at trial to testify concerning blockchain technology, digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and decentralized finance applications. The identity, qualifications, and basis for the conclusions of each expert will be provided to you when they become available. Brady material. The government is not aware of any exculpatory material regarding the defendant. The government understands and will comply with its continuing obligation to produce exculpatory material as defined by Brady versus Maryland, gives you the code, and its progeny. Before trial, the government will furnish materials discoverable pursuant to Title 18 United States Code, Section 3500, as well as impeachment materials. See Giglio versus United States, gives you the code. Other crimes, wrongs, or acts. The government will provide the defendant with reasonable notice in advance of trial if it intends to offer any material under federal R evidence. It gives you the code. A lot of codes here, guys. The defendant's required disclosures. The government hereby requests reciprocal discovery under Rule 16b of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure. The government requests that the defendant allow inspection and copying of 1. Any books, paper, documents, data, photographs, tapes, tangible objects, or copies or portions thereof that are in the defendant's possession, custody, or control, and that the defendant intends to introduce as evidence or otherwise rely on at trial. And 2, any results or reports of physical or mental examinations and of scientific tests or experiments made in connection with this case or copies thereof that are in the defendant's possession, custody, or control, and that the defendant intends to introduce as evidence or otherwise rely upon at trial, or that were prepared by a witness whom the defendant intends to call at trial. The government also requests that the defendant disclose prior statements of witnesses who will be called by the defendant to testify. See, and gives you the code. In order to avoid unnecessary delays, the government requests that the defendant have copies of those statements available for production to the government no later than the commencement of trial. The government also requests that the defendant disclose a written summary of testimony that the defendant intends to use as evidence at trial under Rules 702, 703, and 705 of the Federal Rules of Evidence. The summary should describe the opinions of the witnesses, the basis and reasons for the opinions, and the qualification of the witnesses. Pursuant to, gives you the code, the government hereby demands written notice of the defendant's intention, if any, to claim a defense of actual or believed exercise of public authority, and also demands the names and addresses of the witnesses upon whom the defendant intends to rely in establishing the defense identified in any such notice. Emails sent and received by defendants incarcerated at a Bureau of Prisons facility. The government may request that the Bureau of Prisons, or BOP, produce to the government emails sent and received by the defendant during his or her period of incarceration at a BOP facility, collectively, BOP email communications. While it is the government's position that BOP email communications, including those between the defendant and his or her attorneys and other legal assistants and paralegals on their staff, are not privileged communications, in most instances, the government will request that the BOP exclude from any production communications between the defendant and his or her attorneys and other legal assistants and paralegals on their staff. If you provide the full email addresses for such attorneys, legal assistants, and paralegals by December 15, 2023, to enable this process, the government requests that you send an email to the undersigned assistant U.S. attorneys with the list of email addresses in the body of the email. If you subsequently wish to provide an email address for an additional attorney, legal assistant, or paralegal, or change any of the previously provided email addresses, you should send an email with the complete list of email addresses, including email addresses that remain unchanged, in the body of the email. Future discussions. If you have any questions or requests regarding further discovery or a disposition of this matter, please do not hesitate to contact me. Please be advised that pursuant to the policy of the office concerning plea offers and negotiations, no plea offer is effective unless and until made in writing and signed by authorized representatives of the office. In particular, any discussion regarding the pretrial disposition of a matter that is not reduced to writing and signed by authorized representatives of the office cannot and does not constitute a formal offer or a plea offer, as those terms are used in Loeffler versus Cooper and Missouri versus Fry. Very truly yours, Breon Peace, United States Attorney. All right, there we go. It says enclosures, clerk of the court, ERK by ECF without enclosures. That is the latest update for you guys. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. It's a lot of legal jargon. I get it. Keep you guys updated as things continue to move forward. And if you guys haven't already, please don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. Double shout out thank you to We Love, Victor Vegas, OzMoonX for being higher level patrons. Thank you to my YouTube members for your support as well. God bless, and we will see you in the next episode.